Welcome to the depths of the strange, otherworldly, unknown, paranormal, and much more, where we explore theories that defy logic, reason, and will leave you questioning reality itself. Some ideas don't die because they're wrong. They die because they're dangerous. Dangerous to economies built on scarcity. Dangerous to industries worth trillions. Dangerous to a world that only functions when energy is controlled. Every so often, someone steps too close to that line. They claim to have seen beyond the rules everyone else is told to accept. And when that happens, the response is rarely loud. It's quiet, clinical, final. In the 1990s, one man claimed he had discovered a way to make water replace oil, not as a theory, not as a distant dream, but as a working reality. He said it would end dependence, erase fuel wars, and expose a lie humanity had lived under for over a century. His name was Stanley Meyer, and by the time the world decided whether he was a genius or a fraud, he was already dead. Stanley Allen Meyer was born in Ohio and lived most of his life far from the centers of power where revolutionary technology is usually born. He wasn't backed by a university or protected by a government contract. He worked alone, driven by a belief that humanity's energy crisis was not a failure of innovation, but a failure of permission. According to Meyer, the world wasn't running out of energy. It was being kept dependent. Meyer believed modern science had made a fundamental mistake by treating water as inert and unchangeable. To him, water was a system that responded to vibration and frequency. He claimed that by applying specific electrical resonances, water molecules could be separated into hydrogen and oxygen without the massive energy loss that traditional electrolysis required. In his view, the laws of physics weren't being broken. They were being ignored. Throughout the late 1980s and early 1990s, Meyer began demonstrating what he called his water fuel cell. He showed engines running without gasoline. He displayed technical diagrams and patents describing a process based on resonance rather than brute electrical force. Observers were split. Some saw a historic breakthrough. Others saw a man dangerously misunderstanding chemistry. But even his critics noticed something unsettling. Meyer refused to sell out. He rejected offers from investors who wanted exclusive control. He insisted that once perfected, the technology would belong to everyone, and that insistence, if true, would have made him a liability. As attention grew, Meyer claimed pressure followed. He said foreign corporations attempted to acquire his work. He spoke of intimidation and quiet warnings. Whether these claims were paranoia or reality remains unclear, but they fed into a growing sense that his work existed in a space where curiosity was no longer welcome. In 1996, the momentum turned against him. Investors who had funded Meyer to help him expand his work took him to court, accusing him of fraud. The judge ruled that Meyer failed to demonstrate his technology under controlled conditions. To the public, the ruling sounded definitive. Case closed. Fraud exposed. But the ruling did not scientifically disprove Meyer's ideas. It simply declared that he could not prove them in a courtroom. And from that moment on, his credibility collapsed in the mainstream. On March 20th, 1998, Meyer went out to dinner in Grove City, Ohio. What happened next turned his story into a mystery. According to witnesses, he took a sip of cranberry juice and suddenly became violently ill. He ran outside, collapsed to his knees, and shouted words that would forever haunt discussions of his death. "They poisoned me." Moments later, he was gone. The official cause of death was a cerebral aneurysm. No poison was detected. No extended investigation followed. The case closed quickly and quietly. To authorities, it was a natural death. To supporters, it felt like an ending that arrived far too conveniently. After his death, Meyer's work vanished. His prototypes disappeared. His research was never independently replicated in full. No water-powered revolution followed. Oil remained king. Energy remained centralized. And Stanley Meyer became a footnote, dismissed as a dreamer at best, a con artist at worst. But his story refuses to stay buried because it lives in the space between what was proven and what was never allowed to be proven. It survives because it asks a question that no official report ever answers. If someone truly discovered a way to dismantle the global energy hierarchy, would the world celebrate them? Or would they be erased slowly and quietly until their death looked like another coincidence? Stanley Meyer believed water could free humanity. Whether he was wrong or simply silenced may never be known. But his story serves as a reminder that sometimes the most dangerous thing isn't an invention itself. It's the world it threatens to change. So, what do you think? Did this inventor actually find a breakthrough solution for the future of humanity, but was silenced because it did not follow the corrupt agenda? Or was he just a fraud who had a random cerebral aneurysm after drinking cranberry juice? If you ask me, his death was no coincidence. I believe he truly invented something life-changing. But unfortunately, Stanley Meyer is just another name to add to the list of people who speak out against the system we abide by. That's it for this video. I'm interested to know your own theories and thoughts, so please do share them in the comments. I'm also open to video ideas, so feel free to let me know. If you enjoy my videos, then please like, comment, and subscribe for more. Thank you as always. And don't forget to keep questioning reality.